controls. Shit, what does he control? Let me think. Rocks.
Rocks.
But by rocks, he can also control lava. Because lava is just a melted rock. So he does that. He almost kills him, but then he uses the power. Power is the ability to manipulate magic at will. So say you throw some shit at him, he can deflect it and shoot it back at you.
It's just a lot, you know?
But on top of that, he can transfer magic. Yeah, essentially.
Since I started,
But also, he can transfer magic from one person to another.
Most important thing.
So he can just steal your shit. But unlike Bundy's dumbass, he doesn't have a time limit.
how come I never heard about this?
If he takes your shit, it's his.
We sample street noise around the way.
Permanently.
City to be our beat.
Unless he gives it back.
After things
But he doesn't give it back. So with this new power,
Plus, it'll take your mind off work.
he decides to go back to where he got folded.
Okay, what do I do?
Load that up.
But surprisingly, you know, bandits who are on the run don't stay at the same place. So they're not there, but he finds traces of where they might be. So he tracks them,
You stealing my moves?
and he finds his lieutenant.
Focus on Sass.
Now then, with his lieutenant, he has his best friend, who I finally found out a name for. We're gonna call him Connie. Yeah.
Try and find the original sound and grab a clean sample.
So he finds him with Connie. Now then, his magic is that he can control.
Need to be a little closer to get your levels right. Good sound.
He can control his body at will.
Try and get a clear
Like, you know how, like Mr. Fantastic, how you can stretch and shit?
Mm-hmm.
He can do that. Change the shape of his body. So he could like make his arm into a sword. So he can manipulate his body. They fight. And while they're fighting, he backs up and then he takes Connie hostage. And he tells him to lay down and kill himself, otherwise he's gonna kill Connie.
but not quite what we're looking for.
So, what he does is from far away, he drains one of his little soldiers' magic and drops a rock on his head.
There you go.
So the rock doesn't do anything to him. He just looks around like, what was that? Then he punches through Connie, his best friend, and grabs the dude's magic, and then with it, he heals his friend. Because he's fast like that.
Yeah, really unique dynamics.
See?
Now then, backstory.
And you were right about clearing my head
He
too.
continues to fight, he kills all the lieutenants, blah blah blah.
I gotta see her.
I didn't think of that far ahead.
Out of all this.
In person?
So he kills all the bandits.
Trinity Church.
He ends up finding his rival, and he kills him.
Why so interesting?
Season 1
You
over.
got a target on your back the size of Jersey.
But like, it's supposed to be like super
You
serious.
don't have to protect me.
I just didn't think about all that. See, I was only thinking about the end game.
You know, you said you never finished this tape because of how things went bad.
So after
between
the
you and
dude's
Dad.
dead,
What actually happened between you two?
he decides to, well, he doesn't decide. Why I keep saying he decides.
We were too similar.
He goes back and stays being a soldier.
Finish the tape. Get all the samples. And you'll hear
But there's another person who doesn't like him.
Alright.
So they send him on a mission that they know he's not well equipped for. He dies on said mission.
Church. Remember, Tinker is yours.
and he stays dead for a few hundred years. But then some people discover his body and reanimate him.
Man, I needed that. I was beat. Okay. I'm
Similar.
gonna call Finn.
He's almost the Avatar, but he has hair.
The Avatar of all four elements.
So, people who resurrect him, they know about his second power and they worship him as a god.
God.
So he lets the power go to his head and he starts thinking that he's an actual god.
Stupid.
Rest of the sounds you need.
You're not funny. Shut up.
Good one.
Shut up.
Alright. Time to call Finn. Hope she answers.
So now they
No.
worship him as a god. He decides to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Finn. Hey. We need to talk.
So everyone he knew is
In
dead.
person.
So you can lie to
So
me?
there's no point of going back to the soldier shit, to the army.
Meet me at Trinity Church.
So he decides, why not blow up the army?
Promise.
If you're screwing with me,
You know, he's a god. He can do what he
see you
wants.
there.
At least she's willing to meet. Okay.
So with all of his disciples,
Let's go.
God.
they go launch an attack on the military.
Crazy.
They win.
Of course.
And now that he has the power of everyone in the military, because he's just running around draining people, he actually is a god. He can control every element, but to a degree. He still has his two original things, which he actually has full control over. But for all of the other elements that he stole, he can only control their base forms. Like, say, the rock guy, he can only control rocks. He can't control, like, magma or pebbles or anything like that. He can only, like, use regular rocks. No, like, he can't change the shape of it. He can only just use the rocks. Yeah. So if there's an oval-shaped rock, he can only throw an oval-shaped rock. He can't make it into a pyramid. It has to already be a pyramid. He can move the segments, because each of them is a different segment of a different rock. So with this new power, he decides to go explore the world. Now that he's a god,
That's your intro?
and while he's exploring the world,
Business, call that
he finds someone stronger than him.
Turn it up.
So naturally,
Something.
he says, I'm gonna go kill him.
Do you ever think about what you're inciting? About your
So they go fight,
journalistic integrity?
More than
and he loses, and he's dumbfounded, because he thought he was a god.
Is baffling to an actual journalist.
So after he loses,
You should be attacking the young, unproven
he just jumps him.
who keeps causing problems in Harlem.
He gathers all of his disciples, and they jump him.
Spider-Man does into something malicious while
But instead of killing him,
everything Roxxon does wrong. While Spider-Man
they want to learn his technique.
to get a better PR department.
So they torture him until they tell him.
The only problem Spider-Man fixes
Now then,
are the ones
our new villain slash main character.
arsonist for putting out his fire. Meanwhile,
He looks like, so you know Zora from Black Clover?
in a failing neighborhood.
By tearing down holes
The dude with the black shit over his face?
Our new
And he has, like, sharp teeth?
Harlem isn't the failure Roxxon makes it out to be. And you, Mr. Jameson, for someone who claims to love New York, you sure do seem to hate New York.
Do you?
You are clearly emotional, young lady, so I'm invoking the mercy rule on this debate. Jared, shut it down. And whose idea was it to debate a teenager?
I'm gonna just send you a picture since you don't remember.
Child, I need a hot stone massage.
Hello? Hello?
So he looks like this guy.
Well, thanks for Everyone else?
Except his hair is black
Half hour while working at a
and he's not short. So he looks like him, except his hair is black and he's tall. He's not like fucking 5'4".
Your mom lived here right after.
So once they learn his technique, his technique is the Berserker technique.
Three of us spent a lot of
It's when you put your own energy into your physical body,
Soft beat.
so you're essentially infused with magic. And you don't have to use spells, you can just use pure magic without elements. But if you do use an element, you can't control anything else until you swap elements. But you have complete control over that element. So if you're fighting someone who's using fire, and you both attack each other with fire, your fire will be stronger and you can use his energy against him. Now then, as he gets stronger and becomes more of a god, he finds out that the military he destroyed are gonna kill him. Right?
Rhythm.
See, now this makes sense right now. That's because we're getting to the bigger picture. I don't know what that picture is yet, but we're gonna find out together. What?
Yeah. It's subtle, but it's a beat.
So then, while they're gearing up to fight the military, because they're coming back,
Your dad was new to being.
they realize that they have a new generation of fighters who are better than the old generation.
Oof.
It's like, you know how in Fire Force, each generation is different? Yeah, it's like that. Now then, what they thought was special about him, where he had two elements, isn't special anymore. Now everyone there is born with two elements through selective breeding. Yeah, they're turning into the Diamond Kingdom, essentially, from Black Clover. Where only the strong can live. Or is that Spade that did that?
Spade.
So yeah, they're becoming the Spade Kingdom then. Now every soldier has two elements, and he realizes that his army is inferior now. So he makes sure that each and every member of his army has a portion of an element that he stole from an old soldier back when they had their first war. Now then, with that, certain people evolved and they have their own techniques with the elements that he gave them. Now, one of them is going to be his second in command. I don't know his name yet. We'll find that out later. But his power, or technique, he's basically... He can use... So you know with the Berserker shit, how you can only use one element at a time with it, or use no element? He uses no element, but he can put the characteristics of that element into it. So like, he shoots a beam of pure energy, but when he hits you with it, it can do whatever he wants it to.
Your dad's job and mine crossed paths too often.
Man, Uncle
So
Aaron,
say he shoots you with it,
could've been anything else. My mom and
but
dad
he
would
wants to
support you.
burn you instead of just erase you with energy. He leaves you with burn scars instead of just blasting you away. Or with frostbite scars, whatever he wants it to be. Now then, because he's his trusted second in command, he also gives him a little bit of his original power where he can steal energy. So now they're both the only two in the world who can steal energy from people. So now that they're like that, remember Santana from JoJo's, how he was just like a guard? He was literally dog water. He was just smart, he was just strong. Next dude is like that. He's essentially just Broly. So he's just angry. But he's like OG Broly, where he's just angry. So as he gets angry, he gets stronger, but with each emotion he has a different element. If he's prideful and he feels like he's gonna win, like off rip, he thinks he's gonna kill you, then he has no element.
Probably something you'd always find here, like birds or trees.
But if he
No.
thinks he might lose and you might actually be a challenge, then he can manipulate
Something you'd always find here.
energy, like he can manipulate his body, like the other dude.
No, not trees.
But he gets stronger with each near-death experience, kind of like Saiyans. So in every fight, he tries to kill himself so that he can get stronger. So say he gets hit in the heart, he'll shoot himself in the heart afterwards so that he can get stronger from it. And he keeps doing that until he just becomes a powerhouse of suicide and murder. Because of that, they don't trust him with shit.
A lot of birds around here. Maybe.
He's literally just a dog, basically. And those are the two special people that he actually gives shit to do.
Not this way.
Except for the angry dude, he just sends them to places and kills people. I'm thinking. So after we're introduced to the new guys from our old main character,
Is he a pigeon whisperer?
we're introduced to the new generation with our new main character.
We were hanging in the park one day. Someone dropped a hot dog.
With our new main character,
Place was swarming.
his two elements are fire
Stop cold. He said, Aaron, man, that's music. Listen.
and
You were crawling all over Manhattan
rocks.
like you are now.
Remember the first time they showed me how to sample? Uncle Aaron had the gear.
Because he can do a thing with it.
But why always rocks though?
Because there's the original rocks. There's the original rocks, right? Like, you know how the old generation, they could control every singular form of the element? But they only had one? The new generation has two elements, they can only use the pure form of it. Like, he can shape, like, it's not just rocks. Like metal and ores. It's like, say you're wearing metal armor, he can just stab you with it. So with that, he can only control fire and metal. We're not gonna call it rocks anymore, because rocks are overrated. Now that our next character can crack rocks.
Oh man, what are we doing, bro? I'm done. You okay? You just
crack.
coming out stuff without your butt now, bro.
But he has crack.
No, we're done. We're done.
I make one joke about crack.
No. Yeah. We can't. No. We're done.
Alright, so he doesn't have crack.
No. We're done.
Alright, so
Sleep listening to the sound
Nigga.
every night when we were kids.
We're done.
alright, so
Okay.
Alright.
our new main character.
That was around when Dad and Uncle Aaron.
See, I hate explaining shit. I want to be Japanese. Cause if I was Japanese, I could have just made this shit.
We're not finna go be looking at that, bro.
Man, show me your presentation right now. Exactly. When are you gonna start on it? This shit has a due date, Bryson. Isn't?
Maybe something mechanical?
The teacher doesn't even think twice about that.
I love that rhythm, but the court usually clears out at night. On pigeon sweat.
But Miss Ryan, no.
Not this way.
Do you have better internet yet?
No, nigga.
Is your internet back? Is your internet useful? Or were you stutter stepping to that thing of diamonds?
No, I wasn't stutter stepping to anything.
Alright, rate your
There's a
internet on a
subway
scale
line
1 to
near
10.
Huh? Yes.
7?
That shit sucks.
Mulled wine.
Bro, 7 is a C.
Yes.
There's a subway line near here.
Alright, a high 8 or a low 8? B plus S.
Once for every person.
That's crazy. I don't even know where you are.
You know, it's
Oh, you're over there. Nope, I'm going there.
Need to wait for the train to come by. Get close enough to record it.
Nope. That's how you should always end a phone call, Bryson. Just moan.
I'm not gonna find it over here.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure it's behind me.
Isn't that a skid?
Yeah, subway comes up over there. Nah, getting too far away.
What do you mean? Get the chance to. Oh.
Pretty
Dang,
sure it's
he was
behind
dead?
me.
That's
Need to wait for
crazy.
the train to come
I didn't even
by.
know he was dead like that.
Close enough to record it. Time
I didn't even know he was
capsule's in
dead like
between
that.
train cars. Can't believe we managed to hide it without getting
I thought
caught.
he was one of the people who like think they're dead.
My apologies.
Spider-Man. Hey, pod listeners. This episode is part of my series, Underground Exposed. Spider-Man recently took down an underground hideout in Greenwich, and we found evidence that the underground went to war against the Magi. Yes, that Magi. The old school crime family.